Hi, I'm Sue Swindle, and I'm a customer service rep here at Woodland Terrace. I've been here 7 years, and today I'm happy to be volunteering some of my time for the longest day to raise money for the Alzheimer's Association. So my noise today is going to be reading a story from Chicken Soup for the Kid's Soul. The name of the story is There's an Alien on the Internet. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. That's a phrase by Plato. Andy has never met Joey in person, even though Joey is his best friend. He met him on the internet. At school recess, he played Star Wars with Kevin and Rob, but it's all the neat stuff he learned about the solar system from Joey that made his Star Wars games fun. Joey doesn't go to school, he's homeschooled. I wish Joey went to our school here in Portland. Then I'd never get bored because he's so smart, thought Andy. Last week, Andy's teacher, Mrs. Becker, put a big circle on the blackboard and said it was a pizza pie. Andy, she said, if I were to divide the pizza, would you like 1/3 or 1/10? 10 is the bigger number, so that's what he picked. Kevin started waving his hand in the air, shouting that he chose 1/3. Mrs. Becker drew lines on the circle showing that his piece of pie was bigger than Andy's. Andy's gonna get hungry, Kevin teased. Sandra, the girl who sat behind Andy, started to snicker. Then the whole class was laughing. I wish that the recess bell would ring, thought Andy as he planned how he would play by himself during recess instead of with Kevin and Rob. Mrs. Becker's stern voice quieted the room. Andy, do you see how the more you divide the whole pie, the smaller the pieces become? Yes, ma'am, Andy lied. The recess bell didn't ring for another half hour, and by then Mrs. Becker had assigned 20 problems in the class math book. Each problem had 2 fractions with an empty circle between the fractions. The students were supposed to put a sign, greater than or lesser than, in each circle. Looking at all those fractions and circles made Andy dizzy. He decided he had a 50-50 chance of guessing which way to point the arrows, so he guessed. Wrong. After school, when Andy got online with Joey, he typed, "Flunked my math quiz today. I don't get fractions. How to tell which is bigger," Joey typed back. "Here's a good trick. Cross multiply from the bottom up." Then he went to his drawing board and showed Andy how. 5 times 2 equals 10. 3 times 4 equals 12. 10 is smaller than 12. His trick made it a cinch, even for Andy. The next week, when Mrs. Becker gave a fraction test, Andy was the only kid who got 100%. The class didn't think Andy was so stupid anymore, thanks to Joey. After Joey and Andy got to be such good pals, Andy asked Joey to send him a picture and told Joey he would send one of his in return. Andy's Little League team was having their picture taken in their uniforms, and Andy had posed for his with his bat over his shoulder like he was up to plate, about to hit a home run. Andy thought as he looked at his picture before he sent it to Joey, "I look pretty cool, really athletic." Andy mailed one to Joey in Tallahassee and started waiting for his picture to arrive in the mail. Each day, when Andy talked on the internet, he asked Joey if he'd received his photo yet. On the 3rd day, Joey said, "Your picture came and it's awesome, thanks." "Great," Andy replied. "Then I should be getting yours soon." But Joey's picture never came, and each time they talked, Andy told him, "Still no picture. Maybe you'd better send another." It was weird. No photo and no comment from Joey. He just changed the subject. Then one day, when they were talking about Star Wars and aliens, Andy asked him, "What if there really are aliens in disguise on Earth? You know, like in the TV program, Third Rock from the Sun, or the book, My Teacher's an Alien?" It seems like a long time before the screen lit up with his reply. "Can you keep a secret?" "I guess," Andy answered. "Promise? It's really important." "Sure, I promise. I'm an alien from another galaxy. That's why I can't send you a photograph." My energy field can't be caught on film. Andy sat there, staring at the screen. His mother was calling him to dinner, but it was Joey who signed off while he sat, staring at the computer in a daze. Was this one of Joey's jokes? Then why didn't he send a picture? Is this why he knew so much more than other kids about spaceships and outer space? Why was he so secretive? At dinner, Dad announced, "Good news, my transfer request was approved. We'll be moving to the home office in Denver at the end of the month. The company has found a rental home for us that's close to a good school for Andy and with plenty of room for Grandma to live with us." Andy's mom was happy because her mother had been in a Denver nursing home ever since she fell and broke her hip, and she wanted to have Grandma live with them. Andy just felt mixed up. That night in bed, Andy thought about being a new kid in a new school. I remember how I felt when we moved here. It was hard to make new friends. It seemed like everybody stared at me the first day, and the other kids treated me differently for a while until they got to know me. That was the last thing he thought about before he fell asleep. The next morning, as Andy was sitting in the kitchen table eating cereal, his mom was watching a show on TV. A newscaster was interviewing a lady in Tallahassee, Florida. "Tell me about the role the internet plays in Joey's life," the newscaster asked. Well, it has allowed him a freedom he's never known before. Not only is he able to access information from his wheelchair, but most important, he has made new friends. The newscaster then continued, "Tell us about your internet friends, Joey." The camera shifted to his friend in a wheelchair sitting in front of his computer. He was kind of skinny with sort of shriveled legs. His head hung to one side, and when he answered, his words were hard to understand. He had to make a big effort to say them, and a bit of drool came out one corner of his mouth. When other kids see me, they just see that I'm different. It's hard for me to talk and be understood. But when I'm on the internet, they think I'm just another kid because they can't see me. I've been making friends with lots of different people, Joey explained. All day at school, Andy's mind was full of jumbled thoughts. His internet buddy, Joey the alien, Joey the kid on TV, making new friends in Denver, Grandma and her walker. As soon as he got home, he ran to his room, threw his backpack on the bed, and went to his computer. As Andy logged onto the internet, he decided, it doesn't matter where Joey came from, Mars, Saturn, or Tallahassee. It doesn't matter what Joey looks like. I know who Joey is. Joey is my friend. And typed into the computer, "Joey, guess what? We're moving to Denver. Boy, am I ever glad to have a friend who goes with me wherever I go." Isn't that sweet? Yay.
Good.
Another one? Oh, that one's a little long. I'll read love notes. From the time each of my children, this is Chicken Soup for the Mother Soul. From the time each of my children started school, I packed their lunches, and in each lunch I included a note, often written on a napkin. The note might be thank you for a special moment, a reminder of something we were happily anticipating, or a bit of encouragement from an upcoming test or sporting event. In early grade school, they loved their notes. They commented on them after school, and when I went back to teaching, they even put notes in my lunches. But as kids grow older, they become self-conscious, and by the time he reached high school, my older son Mark informed me he no longer needed my daily missives, informing him that they had been written as much for me as for him, and that he no longer needed to read them, but I still needed to write them. I continued the tradition until the day he graduated. 6 years after high school graduation, Mark called and asked if he could move home for a couple of months. He had spent those years well, graduating Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude from college, completing 2 congressional internships in Washington, D.C., winning the Jesse Marvin Unruh Fellowship to the California State Legislature, and finally become a legislative assistant in Sacramento. Other than short vacation visits, however, he had lived away from home. With his younger sister leaving for college, I was especially thrilled to have Mark coming home. A couple weeks after Mark arrived home to rest, regroup, and write for a while, he was back at work. He had been recruited to do campaign work. Since I was still making lunch every day for his younger brother, I packed one for Mark too. Imagine my surprise when I caught a call from my 24-year-old son complaining about his lunch. Did I do something wrong? Aren't I still your kid? Don't you love me anymore, Mom? Were just a few of the queries he threw at me as I laughingly asked him what was wrong. My note, Mom, he answered. Where's my note? This year, my youngest son will be a senior in high school. He, too, has now announced that he is too old for notes. But like his older brother and sister before him, he will receive those notes till the day he graduates and in whatever lunches I pack for him afterwards. Bye. Thanks for listening.